everyone, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about books and book series that I won't finish, or I don't think I will. Like, there's some of the ones that I'm considering not finishing, but I feel like there's so much pressure on BookTube to read those series that I'm considering just continuing and finishing them because I didn't hate them. I just feel like they were so overhyped that when I finally got to reading them, it just didn't live up to the expectations that I had. Like, for example, the Lunar Chronicle, which I know. But like, I read Cinder and it was okay. It just wasn't as fantastic as everyone else was saying, but I do have the second and third, so I will continue eventually, but I'm just not in a rush to do so. By the way, if I'm looking there, it's because my bookshelves are there and it's just like easy to actually see my books when I talk about them. But the second one is the Mortal Instruments series because I'm still not over the plot twist. I'm still not loving it, but I do have the third book, which I want to read and then try to read the Infernal Devices series because everyone was saying that it was worth reading Mortal Instruments just to read that. So I'm not finishing that series yet, but those are like examples of series that I thought about, but I still think I will finish. But these ones, I don't think I will. And some of these are actually books that I didn't even finish because I just couldn't get myself to. So I will be talking about them, the reasons why they didn't work for me, and then some of the reasons that actually might work for you. Disclaimer, even though it's not really a disclaimer, like, we're all adults, we can have an intelligent discussion and talk about reasons why things didn't work out for us without freaking out. So those are books that didn't work out for me, and let's do this. The first thing, I actually DNF'd the book. I did not finish it, but I'm not also continuing the series. But I DNF'd it. I was like so close to the end, but I just could not get myself to do so. And you probably have heard of this series. This is, I am number 4, and this is the Lorien Legacy series or something. And I read this book, and I had like maybe like 30 pages left, and I remembered I actually watched a movie of this. I'll never forget that I watched a movie. And that kind of just made me like, yeah, I'm not finishing this. I did not like it. I didn't love the romance at all, and I like the ideas. Obviously, I'm always into fantasy, especially like weird fantasy with aliens or magic or things like that. I'm always for it. So this was something that was definitely intriguing me. But yeah, I think the fact that I realized, like, I read like 400 pages without realizing that I've watched a movie. That's how it didn't leave any lasting impression in my head. So it's been a while, so I don't have that much to say, but I know that there is like, is it 6 books or something in the series? And I won't be continuing. I don't know if the movie, I don't think it did super well because they never came out with the second one. So maybe I'm not the only one that wasn't crazy about it. But yeah, I didn't like the romance. Yeah, didn't like it. It won't be continuing. If you have, let me know if it gets better or if you have any news about the movies, because I would rather watch a movie than read the book, which never happens. But whenever I'm not into it, I don't want to commit to reading 400 pages. I would rather just watch the movie. So yeah, did not work for me, did not finish the book, and will not be continuing the series. Let's go with something that's gonna make people freak out. I'm not planning on finishing the book or continuing the series, as of now at least. Yeah. So, Game of Thrones. This one being A Clash of Kings, and I am like, I don't know, like almost 3/4-ish in it. I can't do it, guys. I made the mistake of obviously watching the TV show before finishing the books, so I just can't go back to the books. I feel like I'm reading, at least the first book is exactly what happens in the series, so I would just catch myself trying to like skip to the parts I was interested in, which is not how it should be. So yeah, I'm just not sure if it's worth it to continue the series. I don't think I will. The books are huge. Like, they are so big. There's like over 1,000 pages or something, and it's so hard to commit whenever you already know basically everything that's going to be happening. I don't know how well the series follows the next couple of books, so it might become a lot more different, but I don't know. Let me know if you have read it, if you think it's worth it, but I am not planning on continuing the series or finishing the book. I've been there for like over a year, so I think it's time for me to officially DNF this book. I will not finish this book, and I don't think I will be finishing the series, which I will obviously continue watching the TV show because it's awesome, but yeah, I'm not the only one that gave up on this. I'm a little bit sad, but you know, I just can't get myself to actually finish it, so Now let's go with an easier one. This one I read, or tried to read last year and didn't finish the book, won't be continuing the series. I just really wasn't for me. And it is The Uglies by, this is Scott Westerfeld. And no, this is a dystopian society where people are considered uglies until they go and get a lot of surgeries whenever they hit 16, so they become pretties. And I understand why the author did what they did. I'm assuming like the main character will have some type of growth, but I could not stand to read more about that girl thinking she's an uglies, and like until she gets surgery she's ugly, and I'm like, ooh, I can't imagine like 13-year-old me reading this and feeling okay with it. Like, I feel like it would have made me feel like complete shit. So I am not planning on continuing. I read 112 pages and I just couldn't do this to myself, so I did not finish it. I know it used to be popular, and I'm assuming it's, since it's why it was younger people, so they might not see the same problems that I did see. It just really wasn't for me. I didn't like it and won't be continuing. A controversial one. This one is definitely a case of it's not you book, it's definitely me, because I'm definitely part of the minority. Everyone seems to love this book, so if you're looking for a great fantasy standalone YA book that is apparently amazing, I would recommend reading Uprooted by Naomi Novik. But I could not even finish this book. I read 240 pages and I had to stop. I put it down and I was like, oh, I will definitely be continuing this book for 2 months, 3 months before I realized, you know what, I am not continuing this book. I was just so bored. The writing is beautiful. I like fantasy, but this story, this magical system, everything was just not working for me. It's definitely like mythical, magical, like fairy tale-ish type of story, but I could not stand a lot of different things. Like in there, basically this story, there is a dragon that takes a girl from a village whenever she's 17 or something, every 10 years, and then brings her into his tower and then just is with her for 10 years, and then the girls comes out and they never want to go back to the village. They unfortunately want to go to the city and have jobs and stuff instead of just marrying. Like, it's hard to talk about this without saying any spoilers, but to be honest, it's not really a spoiler since it happens in the first like 10 pages, but the dragon is basically a man and he's a complete ass, and there was basically like some type of romance in there that seems very problematic, but I especially just didn't like the magical system. I hate whenever it's like random words, that like magical, musical, random stuff. I don't know, it just didn't make sense to me. It was just very purple prosy. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It just really wasn't for me. And a big thing that always pissed me off is whenever there is, spoiler alert, it's not really a spoiler, but if you want to not hear anything about it, skip ahead. But the magical system, another thing that annoyed me is that the girl that goes into the tower with the dragon ends up being like stronger than him in like 5 minutes, which always annoy me. Like, you're basically learning from the strongest magician of all time, and after like 5 minutes you're stronger than him. That always annoyed the crap out of me. So yeah, another reason I didn't like it, but I can definitely see a lot of people actually liking this because it really, like I said, fairy tale-ish. It's beautiful writing, so a lot of people will like this. It's super popular, but I don't think it's worth me finishing. Unfortunately, I will not be finishing it, but the reason I actually officially decided to not continue it is because I read another book where the writing was similar, and it just made me realize I don't want to finish this, and it is this book right here, and it is A Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. They don't have the K, I'm surprised. I read another book from this author and loved the story, the writing. It was Lath of Evan or something. And beautiful writing. I wanted to read in English to actually improve my English, and definitely the writing in here will make you practice quite a bit. But it was the same type of like, it feels like it's going slow paced. Like the way I'm talking right now, it's basically how it feels whenever you're reading it. And some people love that type of writing. I don't mind it whenever it's like a classic or something, but I feel like fantasy, it just feels too, again, boring. And in this case, the book is super short. Like there's like not even 200 pages. There's 180 something pages. So it's super short, but it felt incredibly long. And I hated how like weeks, years would pass by in one sentence. You know what I mean? Like whenever they just want to accelerate to the next thing that happens. No, I will definitely read more books from this author, but I will not continue this series. I did finish the book, but it's because it was so short. Really felt really long. But if you liked one or the other, I would recommend the other because the writing is definitely similar. So if you like the way it's written, these two will definitely work for you. In my case, it was just unfortunate that no. Next book is also a standalone that I just did not finish. I couldn't get myself to, and it is Wolf in a White Van by John Darnielle, which I DNF'd this book so quickly. There is like 207 pages in this book, and I decided to not finish it whenever I hit 50 pages. Usually I try to read 100 pages before deciding, but this one after 50 pages, I just hated it. And again, the writing was really confusing in the sense that like the story, I had no idea what was going on. Basically what I remember is that you're following a guy that basically created a game where people play, you know, like Donjon Dragon type thing, but like people send him letters to like know their next moves and stuff, but it was so slow paced and boring, and I think he like did something to his face, like hurt himself, and I just didn't like it. It just really wasn't for me, and I keep hearing really great reviews about it, but no. It really makes me feel bad to do a whole video with books I didn't like, but nobody starts reading a book hoping they're gonna hate the book. Like, literally would not have spent my money if I thought I wouldn't like it. But next one, I think I'm gonna finish it, the series, but like, I'm so not in a rush, but I wanted to include it in this video because I was so disappointed. I feel like everyone, and I mean everyone, talks about how much they love The Gunslinger by Stephen King, basically the Dark Tower series, which so many people absolutely love it, and I did not like it. Like, it was the most confusing book ever. I have no idea actually what ended up happening, and I know even Stephen King says that it wasn't his most clear book, and a lot of people say, oh, the second, third book will make it worth it, but holy shit, like this was so confusing. Like every time I was like, what the hell is going on? And then there's a couple like chapters, I'm like, oh, okay, it makes sense. Okay, I like it. And then no, we went back to the weird side. I have the next 3 books in this series, but I don't know. I'm really not in a rush. I know every time I say that I didn't like it, people keep saying like, no, you gotta read the rest. And I'm like, yeah, everyone says that. But, you know, just really not in a rush. I might continue the series in a year or 2, but not anytime soon. I really wanted to like it because everyone loves it, but sometimes you just can't do it. Actually, I just thought about a book that I think is in my box of books to give away. I will be doing a decluttering unhaul book video, but I don't remember the name, so I'm gonna put the picture on the screen so you can see it, but it was a Jane Patterson book, and I had never read any of his books, and I feel like everyone talks about them. I finished a book because I'm really stubborn, and I usually never not finish a book, which seems weird in this video, but I mean, in my whole life, I probably did not finish like 10 books. And it was like, I like having a main character that is really, really smart, but in that case, it was just done really weirdly, and I just didn't like how the story went. So if you have read more of his book, do you think it's worth reading more? Because honestly, I really didn't like it to the point where I don't think I would even pick up any of his book ever. So let me know if you have any opinions about him or his writing or anything, because I want to know. So yeah, this was a pretty negative video, but I feel like it's important to also talk about things that don't work out for you, so you might have an idea, you know what? Her taste in books is similar to me, or it's not similar, but actually the way she explains it, I think these books are actually for me. So if that's the case, I think it's always great to talk about them. So if you have any books or book series that you're not planning on finishing, please feel free to comment that down below. Or if you have any opinion about any of these books, also do so, because it's always more fun to actually have discussions in the comments. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and to subscribe to not miss any future videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.